Je te suis.
OK. On va commencer comme toujours. On se tient les bras, fermer les yeux et en dedans. Nous allons commencer par chanter le mantra en 3 fois. Imaginez que vous êtes partout, établi dans le cœur de tous les êtres. Tous les êtres soient heureux et libérés de leur douleur, de leur souffrance. Nous avons toujours un grand désir de connaissance que nous libère de leur souffrance. Nous n'avons jamais les ressentiments l'un envers l'autre, seulement toujours la compassion sans limite et l'amour sans condition. Om Shanti Shanti. Le rang de cette pratique encore plus puissante, plus significative. Renoncez tous les fils de la pratique. Imaginez que ce type de foi vivant dans tous les aspects là est nécessaire pour le bien-être de tout. Et vous donnez. Donc, commencer avec les échauffements. Les mains sur les hanches et commencer à tourner la tête. Je tourne tout le temps de manière fluide, gracieuse, pour ne pas perturber l'esprit et le rendre dans un état agité. Maintenant, aller dans l'autre direction. Alors, jamais, si possible, les voies saccadées ou agressives ou bouillants. Maintenant, notre bras droit, on a en arrière. Allez, en avant maintenant. Maintenant, l'autre bras. Fait quand vous vous préparez à lancer une balle et aller en avant. Maintenant, levez les deux bras, tenez les coudes, penchez à gauche. Et tirez tout le long de côté droit. Retournez au milieu, allez à l'autre direction. Évitez de faire les vides dans la taille. Retournez au milieu, allez en droit à gauche. Et allez à gauche. Retournez au milieu, maintenant, faites des petits cercles autour de la tête. Au fur et à mesure, agrandissez les seins, ajoutez la poitrine, le haut du dos. Et une fois que vous sentez à l'aise, vous tournez le tronc complètement. Laissez tomber le tronc. Brossez les avant-bras complets. En descendant. Et retournez en haut, allez dans l'autre direction. Encore, on commence surtout avec la tête, les épaules, et ensuite, ajoutez de plus en plus la poitrine, le haut du dos, et éventuellement, le tronc fait comme un boudin. Bon, revenez en haut et laissez tomber. Les moyens. Maintenant, c'est les volets, comme les œufs de noix, de bouche, les bouts de doigts qui se marient. Et maintenant, le laisser sur les bras, secouer les épaules, lancer la tête dans toutes les directions, les grands de l'humour. Maintenant, retourner. Les bras, on va se mettre sur les murs. Et maintenant, on swing les jambes. Essayez de toucher les bras.
C'est OK, ça ne peut pas continuer.
Il faut pencher en avant un peu. C'est ça. Ensuite, ça veut dire en espace. Pencher, pencher. Voilà. Bon. Et maintenant, tu viens de votre direction. Et le jour avec votre chambre. Cette jambe est continue incontrôlable. Restez, retournez au tapis. Maintenant, placez dans les montes orteils, en levant les bras, on lève les talons maintenant. Inspirez. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inspirez, descendez tranquillement. 2, 3, 4, 6. Engagez les muscles du tronc et des jambes. Inspirez vos bras. 2, 4, 5, 6. Descendez. Ne permettez pas vos talons à frapper la terre. 2, 4, 5, 6. Encore. C'est dans les monts orteils, levez-vous. Soyez comme le témoin qui regarde tout, sans jugement, sans souci, sans attente. Expliquez discuter. 2, 4, 5, 6. Une dernière fois. Inspirez. 2, 5, 6. Expirez, descendez. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Branchez la tête dans une geste d'humilité et restez dans cet esprit pendant la pratique. Servez autour à travers la pratique. Offrez tous les bénéfices. Alors, mettez-vous en avant du tapis. Les mains au cœur, Surya Namaskar. Levez les bras, n'inquiétez pas trop de souffle. Bougez le corps d'une manière qui permet de toujours garder une forme. Le pied droit en arrière, descendez les genoux et les hanches. C'est ça. En planche, les genoux à terre et le siège en arrière. Lisez entre les bras, tirez avec les mains. C'est ça, avancez. Maintenant, roulez les épaules en arrière, allongez le cou, mettez la tête en arrière. C'est bon. En arrière encore. Glisse, glisse. Entre les bras. Faites que votre serpent qui glisse dans les arbres. Rembez le dos. Une dernière fois en arrière. Glissez entre les bras. Et si vous sentez les épaules procès, il faut allonger le cou pour pouvoir mettre la tête plus en arrière. Maintenant, à Mukha Svanasana, levez les hanches, descendez la tête, les ça. Baissez le fond, le dos. Rembez le épaules. Maintenant, le pied droit, tout doucement. Les pieds ensemble, Uttanasana, le ventre des cuisses, descendez le siège, revenez en haut. Parlez les bras en haut, revenez le au crâne. Levez les bras, soyez conscient toujours du souffle. Si ça change, il devient agité. C'est ça on fait probablement que l'esprit est manger aussi. Le pied gauche en arrière, ensuite en planche, les genoux à terre, la siège en arrière, en glisser 3 fois. Il faut vraiment se mettre dans le corps de ce que vous représentez. Imaginez le serpent, encore en arrière.
C'est le chant de la volée.
C'est ça.
I'm going to still that keep. Because I can't teach chiropractic.
Glissez contre l'œil et déroulez comme le serpent une dernière fois en arrière. Et maintenant, éclatez tous les qualités aussi, soit étrafié, puissant et sage comme le serpent. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Le visage, le fond de cœur, descend le cœur. Les flammes. Maintenant, le pied gauche avec le nez. Les pieds ensemble, les Uttanasana. Collez le ventre sur les cuisses et levez la sphère. Revenez en haut. Poussez les hanches en avant. Puis engagez les fesses et les muscles haut du dos. Les mains au cœur. Oh, les plus bras. Descendez. Active vers le bas de votre chest et de walk en arrière. Toutes les postures ont leur propre conscience et c'est de retrouver les grosses effets. En planche, Ashtanga Namaskar, les genoux, la poitrine sont à terre. C'est ça. Maintenant, avancez, poussez dans les mains, ouvrez vos Svanasana, levez les hanches de la terre. Maintenant, principalement résulté, si c'est possible, poussez les épaules en arrière encore. Faites travailler la colonne. Allongez. Maintenant, Adho Mukha Svanasana, levez les hanches. Ici, expire encore, le pouce de ventre sur les cuisses, descendre la tête. Also, try to train closer. Strong retention. That's it. Imaginez une victoire opaque. C'est très, la plante est très, foncée à haut, et c'est plus douce à vers le Maintenant, le pied droit entre les mains. Poussez le bas du dos en avant, et le poitrine, et maintenant les pieds ensemble, Uttanasana. Encore, vous faites les cuisses, la poitrine avec les genoux. Levez-vous. Marchez en arrière, revenez au cœur. Allongez, levez les bras, restez Uttanasana. Descendez. Essayez de se voir quand vous êtes le témoin. Le pied gauche en arrière. En planche, il faut imaginer faire la pratique. Chest warrior down, Ashtanga Namaskar. Maintenant, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Alors, essayez de se séparer de ça. Quand vous êtes besoin, vous regardez le corps qui bouge tout seul. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Le visage descend de la tête. Et ce qui descend de la tête, si vous faites de toucher le fond à la table, c'est vraiment. C'est ça. Mais ça, c'est ça. Pas mal. C'est ça. Poussez avec la main. Et maintenant, le pied gauche entre les mains. Ça va venir avec la pratique. Et les pieds ensemble. Uttanasana. Levez-vous encore. Marchez en arrière. Et ouvrez mon cœur. Levez les bras. Descendez. La tête vers le vide. 2 pieds droits en arrière. C'est ça. En planche, cette fois, c'est Chaturanga. Descendez dans une ligne, c'est ça. Juste au-dessus de la terre, et ensuite poussez avec les mains, poussez les épaules en arrière, ouvrez la poitrine dans tous les sens, physiquement, émotionnellement et spirituellement. So, descendez les épaules, allongez le cou. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Et c'est descendre les talons vers la terre aussi. C'est ça. Voilà. Faites le chien qui est sur le dos et démontrez la droite du chien. Et maintenant, pied droit entre les mains. Les pieds ensemble. Avec la pratique constante de la détermination acharnée et l'observance automatique, vous ferez de progrès rapidement. Les mains au cœur. Levez les bras. Descendez. On sait toujours à ce que vous pouvez offrir à tous les autres, non seulement à vous-même. Le pied gauche en arrière. C'est ça. Et ensuite, en planche. Chaturanga, j'excuse, descendez. C'est ça. Et maintenant, poussez avec les monts des doigts, des doigts et les poings. Levez la poitrine, mettez la tête en arrière, faites comme chez qui hurle à la lune. Arundasanasana. Ça. Et c'est descendre le cœur vers la terre. Maintenant, allongez le bout. Et c'est toucher la tête à la terre. C'est ça. Descendre le cœur. C'est ça. Creuser le dos. Et maintenant, le pied gauche. Et puis ensemble, Uttanasana. Et se mettre le siège en ligne avec les talons et le siège. Laissons décrocher le ventre des cuisses. Revenez en haut. Penchez en arrière. Et revenez les mains au cœur. On ajoute les bras. Cette fois-ci, on descend. Joignez les mains en arrière du dos et tirez les mains en haut. Encore, penchez la tête. Le pied droit en arrière. Descendez les genoux, Kapiasana, le pied droit, tirez les mains en arrière, descendez les épaules, c'est beau. Et maintenant, revenez en planche. Cette fois-ci, on met le siège complètement en arrière. On essaie d'aller en avant sans toucher les hanches et les jambes à la terre. C'est ça, poussez dans les mains. Levez les jambes droites. Le pied entre les mains. Les épaules au-dessus des bouts de doigts, descendez les épaules, regardez en haut, et ensuite les pieds ensemble. Uttanasana. Levez les bras de la tête. Et les hanches. Levez les bras et tirez tout le long du fond du corps. Descendez encore. Le ventre sur les cuisses, les mains en arrière, tirez les mains en haut. Et branchez les fronts vers les bas des jambes de tête, se place pour les jambes complètement. Maintenant, le pied gauche et ça en arrière. Descendez les genoux. Levez les bras. Penchez en arrière. Et ça renvoie le dos. C'est comme le croissant de l'huile. Maintenant, sortez de la posture en planche. La siège complètement en arrière. Et maintenant, avancez sans toucher les jambes et les hanches à la terre. Arundasanasana. Le pied gauche en haut. Quelque part Arundasanasana, les pieds entre les mains. Descendez les hanches. Levez les bras. Encore en arrière, descendez les épaules. Poussez le bas de dos en avant, le cœur en haut. Et maintenant, les mains à chaque côté du pied gauche et on avance le pied droit. Uttanasana. Éventuellement, les jambes sont complètement droites. Levez-vous. Retournez les mains au cœur. Levez le ventre froid, levez les bras. Descendez le ventre sur les cuisses. Joignez les mains en arrière et maintenant tirez les mains en haut. Et glissez le pied droit en arrière. Connectez tous les mouvements ensemble, toutes les transitions de l'univers. C'est comme des danses et des versions de maintenant. Les mains à la terre. Cette fois-ci, balayez les jambes gauche en haut, avancez en planche, mais gardez les jambes toujours élevées. Maintenant, descendez la poitrine en premier. C'est ça. Ensuite, Uttanasana, Arundasanasana. Levez les jambes droites. Le pied entre les mains. Kapiasana encore. Essayez d'imaginer le fond du croissant de lune. Ce que vous voyez dans l'imagination, vous devenez. Balayez les bras en arrière maintenant, joignez les mains, retenez le souffle, passez les pieds ensemble. Uttanasana. Levez-vous encore. Devenez ce que vous voyez dans l'imagination. Il faut avoir une imagination sans limite. Levez les bras, les choses, les expériences incroyables vous attendent. Maintenant, le ventre sur les cuisses, joignez les mains et les bras, la tête dans le pied, le pied gauche en arrière, descendez les genoux, levez les bras, en arrière. Maintenant, relâchez les mains Et puis, danser les jambes de droite, avancer. Oh, c'est dans la poitrine. Tournez les doigts vers l'extérieur. Et c'est ça. On le Visvanasana. Ardha Visvanasana. Et le jambe gauche. Le pied entre les mains. Descendez les genoux. Les bras. Maintenant, penchez, collez devant les cuisses et joignez les pieds ensemble. Uttanasana. Descendez la tête. Revenez en haut. Retrouvez la main au cœur. Une autre variation. Levez droit. Descendez maintenant. Les mains chaque pied. Et allez en arrière, c'est beau. Urdhva Visvanasana. Ardha Visvanasana. Maintenant, avancez. Et tout doucement. Sautez entre les mains. C'est beau. Levez-vous. On descend à la terre. Vous amènez votre souffle, allez très doucement en arrière. Descend. En arrière avec le siège. Levez les talons. Et c'est ça. Encore, descendez. Continuez. Tout doucement. Quand vous êtes comme un gars. Et on saute en avant. Très doucement. Levez droit. Une dernière. Descendez. Continuez. En arrière. Une poitrine. En arrière. Sautez en avant. Levez droit. On tourne les mains au cœur. Restez ici pour l'instant. Inspirez. Imaginez que vous attirez le mot du cœur jusqu'à la couronne. Faites monter. Continuez à la couronne. Faites diffuser cet amour à tous les êtres partout. Inspirez. Retournez au cœur. Restez toujours établi en dedans. OK. On est échauffé maintenant. OK.
Juste faire un petit peu de la vanne.
Oui. OK. Alors, ce qu'on peut faire, à chaque fois que vous avez sauté, c'était devenu de plus en plus mieux.
Okay.
C'est beau. Alors, c'est-à-dire que parfois, il faut échauffer un petit peu avant de voir un peu de plus de mobilité de vraiment. Alors, on peut commencer avec les mains en avant du pied. OK. Cette fois-ci, on tourne les pieds à droite. Et maintenant, gardez les bras toujours droits. Levez le siège, redressez les jambes et descendez encore.
C'est la première fois que je me suis dit.
C'est ça. Tournez, gardez les pieds tout près des mains. Ne allez toujours sur le même spot. Ne bougez pas de ça. Puis on descend encore. OK, cette fois-ci, poussez dans les mains. C'est ça. Et essayez d'avoir les hanches. C'est beau. Centre les bras encore. Poussez. Et essayez quand vous sautez de mettre les hanches encore un peu plus en avant, au-dessus des bras. Là, parce que maintenant, quand tu sautes, tu vas plus en avant.
Okay, so.
Et essayez de rester tout près des mains. OK? Essayez encore. C'est ça. Encore. Ah, c'est sûr. C'est ça. OK. C'est beau. Yeah, c'est ça. Sentez la différence. Retenez le souffle et vraiment pousser dans la terre avec les mains. C'est quand vous essayez de pousser de vraiment descendre le plancher.
Parce que souvent, quand je suis. C'est le manque de contrôle quand je monte à handstand. De temps en temps, peu importe les autres que je fais, je suis capable de monter tranquillement le handstand. Okay. Mais j'ai l'impression que ça cause. Non.
Oh God. You don't.
OK, merci.
OK, cette fois-ci, On essaie, vous avez juste, oh, ce qu'on peut faire. On va aller contre le mur. Alors, on se place près du mur, les mains sont à peu près 6 pouces du mur, et ils sont tout près. Alors, on roule dans le mur, on descend devant ce qu'on peut faire. L'essai de mettre le space. Merci. Essayez d'être bon, ça me. C'est ça. Mais ne comptez pas de essayez essayez de demander.
D'avoir fait des choses en plus.
C'est ça, bon, de voir comme la transférer la femme du monde dans des lois. C'est ça. C'est bon, mais ça va avec le pratique. Peut-être. Est-ce que on explique vraiment dans très les écoutes de viol?
Sur les époques dans les
Lead with your shoulders back, your shoulders. Ça,
sans les gestes,
oui,
je sens que je suis capable d'envoyer ça.
oui.
Et j'ai l'impression de la montée comme. Parce que c'est là que je pense le point de vue. La pression ici est
Ça me mal.
pas mal, mais it's like the first time I did the version. I had to like get my because I'm not used to go over like this is where I usually go. So now like this, I need to go just it further. What?
Try to get essayer de voir les côtés par possible pour poignet. Alors, ça demande plus de corps, basically. Just try to essayer de mettre les vraiment aller dans et ce n'est pas nécessairement de lever les pieds. Alors, essayez vraiment de mettre des orteils pour mettre des épaules en ligne, juste au-dessus des doigts.
I can see it, but I can't reach it.
That's okay.
Some days I can feel it works. So. Like this.
I think it's, yeah, you're not committed. And it's okay, like, I mean, it's just, it's a little bit of a, like you got this, sometimes we have to mess with block in our head. So that,
See, I'm stressed about this right now. That's not that, but
yeah.
because I can feel all my weight. It's like my weight in my here, I'm used, so my weight here because it moves forward.
Yeah.
I'm used to. Keep so scope and that's action.
So
I'm jumping.
concentrate more on the fingertips and les montées oreilles, on des toilettes. Alors, comment vous commencez, comment expliquer sur les talons, les pentes, mais on roule. Et on transfère, une fois que les ans sont plus élevés, on transfère plus le poids dans cette région de la main et des doigts, et ça enlève plus de pression des pieds.
Going down, I want to like, and then as I'm.
Concentrer vraiment, avancer le poids des doigts. Vous avez beaucoup de force dans les doigts. That's it. That's it. Beaucoup dans les longs des doigts. Ben, c'est comme, imagine vous êtes une insecte. Alors, aussi quand c'est mieux. Pour être crevé sur le mur, presser les petits doigts, les petits doigts. Là, c'est mieux. Sens-tu que ça enlève un petit peu de pression ici?
Ça me permet de plus
Oui,
être dans l'équilibre.
oui,
Comparément avec ça, plus les muscles.
oui. Alors, tu peux toujours faire des exercices de poignets, on peut toujours comme ça, c'est une seule chose. Mais on peut aussi, pour travailler les poignets, on a quelques exercices. On peut tourner les mains comme ça, les paumes sont en haut, puis on plie les coudes en arrière, et on tourne les œufs en avant, puis à l'extérieur.
Comme quand on fait un
Yeah, c'est ça.
montagne, oui.
C'est ça. Oui. Sens-tu un peu de pression aussi dans ça? OK, alors, c'est pour renforcer les poignets, puis on enlève, secouer les mains, et maintenant, on tourne les mains de l'autre façon. Et maintenant, on essaie de tourner les yeux des coudes l'un vers l'autre. Alors, external rotation.
External or internal?
Oh, sorry, internal, that's right. So going into it, in towards. C'est de ouvrir les yeux comme ça.
Ouais.
C'est ça. Et mettez les coudes plus en arrière pour sentir le pouls. OK?
Quelle belle
Et torse, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah.
C'est ça. Ce sont aussi, quand tu fais les exercices, on peut toujours mettre les mains entre les pieds et presser les orteils dans les poignets. On essaie de vraiment. Ça relâche les poignets. OK? Presser avec les orteils et les orteils dans le siège un petit peu. C'est ça. Et c'est peut-être un peu de talon, un petit peu. Et ne pas perdre l'équilibre. Feel that? That's also another training exercise you can do. Okay, shoulders up. Yeah.
There's up.
Your shoulders a little bit more forward. Again, trying to get that whole idea of getting your body up over your fingertips. Yeah. That's a good one.
I have something, not everything, but like, on dirait que j'ai une peur, je sais pas pourquoi. Scared of fall or something?
Yeah, ça c'est toujours la.
You would think that, like, practicing inversion every single day for the past 2 years, we get rid of that, but it's still not.
No, like sometimes it takes a long time, and it's okay. You know, like it's like a self-protection, self-conservation. Good. Okay. So now, all these exercises, chaque fois avec ces exercices, et c'est vraiment le fait de vraiment lever le switch facile. Oh, ce n'est même pas nécessaire de lever les pieds de la terre. Juste aller. Ils ont plus en avant. Presser avec les doigts, les doigts.
C'est vrai, j'ai oublié. Tu viens de dire, j'avais oublié que j'avais.
Oui.
Voilà, again, I'm not committing. Just forward.
OK. Écoute,
Ouais.
ce que tu peux faire, c'est que tu peux faire sur la tête. Okay? Alors, on met les mains comme ça. Est-ce que toi, tu peux prendre les coudes facilement? On place les mains comme ça. Et on met la tête entre les mains. Ici, on essaie de passer les pieds le plus possible, proche vers les coudes. Et utiliser, en levant le talon, on essaie d'utiliser le genou pour rentrer dans le ventre. Et ça va pousser les hanches plus en avant. Et là, peut-être que tu peux garder ses hanches. C'est ça. Avancer encore plus en plus. C'est ça.
But this one,
Try to get your knee right into your belly. So get as close as possible. Use your knee to come into your belly to get your hips up higher.
aqui, ó,
See?
see, ó. Well, okay, the ballet you in class, my weight is way forward, way forward. So it's less muscular, whatever, it's more like alignment.
Yeah.
So,
This move your foot in a little bit closer if you can. Really try to get your knee right into your belly. Use your knee to push your hips up. I know it's not necessarily like if it it depends on the hip flexibility too, so it might not get there, but I want what the idea is to try to get your knee into your belly. And then when you're doing those poses, come up. And use your
parce que toi, ouais, je comprends. Parce que là, le truc, c'est qu'en regardant tes trucs plus proches, tu peux
C'est ça.
transférer le poids. Ok, je commence à le voir.
C'est ça. Et c'est la même chose que le mieux.
So if I use what I just learned.
Yeah.
I'm trying to follow what I did. It's so. C'est ça, fait qu'on regarde les transferts de poids.
And we stick these tips.
Still jumping.
It's a good job, like what you want to do is let's say place the forehead on the wall and then tuck your chin in. And do this, okay, so place your forehead on the wall and then tuck your chin in. And then bring your shoulders.
Whoa. My forearm is split. Close. So, transfer le poids.
Okay, so
Sur le poids.
that's the idea.
Wow. Not losing muscle work now.
But it's coming, like, so it's just, it's okay, you said motion, just try to see yourself in your mind, what you're doing, so what you wanna do this way. Push. So. You're just like, so round your back, imagine trying to get your shoulders back. Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So, yeah. Still give me this thing corrected last week, but I still do.
It takes a lot, yeah, it doesn't always come to, right? You have to kind of let the body things, but this is the idea.
Yeah, so something I realized too, it's visual made you realize that is when I'm going full and family, regardless of the time, I always keep an arch. So it's not like I don't go in. It's cool. I tend to like go either like this or like this. I'm not.
Yeah, and it depends on the body and it, like, I do this too, just because my back, just the way my body is just very flexible. So I tend to kind of, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it might take a little bit more energy and stay in the pose longer.
Parce que là, tu te sens pas de l'alignement, tu te sens de tes muscles.
Closer the nombril, est-ce que pousser le nombril et
Maybe the skin, but add that too. So, yeah, forward, stand my palm, move the weight around, keep my. C'est quoi ce truc d'avant? Close and.
yeah, don't worry about lifting your legs right away. Just keep your interior tuck. Try to get your knees right into your belly.
The problem is the further I go in there, the more I lose my strength. I have my when I go into handstand, I have my spring back.
Yeah.
But the more I go deep here, I don't do the round back.
Push with your fingertips. That's it.
I can't actually. Well,
So, another thing is that when you're ready to lift, okay, so push into your fingertips, hold the breath, transfer your weight first into your fingertips. Hold breath, push into the ground really hard.
and this.
And your elbows can start a little bit bent, but then as you push into the ground, with the breath.
So. Stay close.
Yeah, it looks better already. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
That time, and like, just take your time to set up. Don't try to jump up too fast. So really take your time and just think like you're doing this in slow motion, like a, So you prepare, you can start back even, like lift your toes, come into it, push into the base of the fingers, hold breath.
Okay.
And your elbows are soft to start, but as soon as you push into the ground, that's when your arms engage. And more in your fingertips, or
Oh, that's not what I was feeling. Coming, the strength I need to develop to be able to hold there. Holy. Maybe that's strength. Maybe more just getting used.
it's just, it's just reframing your thinking, I guess. Yeah, because the more you jump, the more energy you're gonna take, right? To do it. So this requires more core, but you have more control when you do it. So it's just you're not doing anything super wrong at all. Like it's all there. It's just you have to, like, there's some little tricks, some very subtle things. And it's really like I find that a lot of it comes where you put your pressure in your hands. You're not taking too much pressure in your wrists and you bring it more to your fingertips where there's a lot of strength. Yeah. That's it, yeah. Coming there. This time your shoulders were not coming up.
I didn't come in enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Alors, allez sur le mot pour, comme allopathique, allez sur le mot pour quelques minutes. Et ensuite, ici, sur la table.
Okay. Les cues, c'est vraiment transfer the weight. Don't jump.
C'est ça. Come gradually, so rouler, roll into it.
Until you end.
Yeah.
And the end goal, I guess, would be to be able to just do that posture, like coming enough in the front so that things lift without.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's really, so
Yeah.
it's just visualizing that. The next there and the next there and really press. And then that's when you lift.
Okay. This could also come. C'est simple. Je pense que tu me faut avoir quelque chose.
It's lift like this part of the area, like this. So really put that's sort of the idea. So move your fingertips in a little bit. And as we press down, maybe it's like maybe I have flexible hands for sure. But yeah, try to keep your knuckles down. Like you see how this
Okay, yeah.
See, if your hand is flat, there's not much. There's not much energy, like you're not getting the full. Yeah, you have to be pressing your fingertips like it's like. Ooh. That's the idea.
Don't jump this slowly.
That's the idea. Because if your hands are flat, there's no,
Balance.
because there's no pointed pressure, like it's just kind of, it's not doing as much as it can. When you have 10 points of pressure, that's when you get the force.
So you have the
Right.
tips,
The
the
tip,
palm,
yeah.
and this not much, right? Most of the weight is,
most weight here,
yeah,
the control, right? To get, like, I mean, it is the heels of palms, but like to get the control is with your fingertips and your base of your fingers. That's it. If it is to change.
it just practice. Good.
And when you get tired, just leave it for a bit. Because then things start to kind of deteriorate.
Yeah,
But yeah, the idea is like it, you know, like say if you have your hands, two fingers too close together, they're just not, it's not doing much. Like you have to just kind of concentrate your, like, you know, when you have the pressure distributed to, you know, discrete points, you have more strength as opposed to just two hands flat on the ground and like not much surface area. Like it's just can't get much traction.
well,
It's not gonna give you much power, you know. But if you have like really pressed down.
I see it as only 200, but maybe I should see it instead of like almost 20 point of pressure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so now you have to, yeah, that's better. Because what you did before is like you lift up your feet before while your shoulders are still back there.
Okay,
And tu vois, mais il faut que tu avances avant de lever le pied. Parce que ici, encore, tu te trop un peu en arrière. And you can't, with your seat back there, you can't have any pressure in your fingertips. It's not going to come, right? So you have to move forward so that you can get your weight into your fingertips. If your seat's not back there, how are you going to put your fingers down, right? Pressing your fingertips, so you have to come forward first. Which one's your hands?
David.
Yeah. That's better.
Watch the floor.
Say,
So it's just, it's not a jump, but it's still, you're just,
yeah, press up to reach your toes. Lift your heels. Press up to reach your toes. Again, this area of the foot is just like like the hands, right? This is why I get you to do this.
pour t'habituer à.
Comme, because on a beaucoup de puissance dans les orteils. If you don't engage, you can't stay up if you don't push it to reach your toe, right? So it's the same thing. Think of them as your hands now, like this into your hands, basically, same thing. But you push into your toes, and so when you're launching yourself, come forward, you push off through your toes, you bend your elbows, knees a little bit, and then you come up.
Ouais, je peux le voir. Okay.
See?
Is it, okay, another thing. I know most of the teacher always say, keep it close, but the closer I get, the more unstable I am compared to just go there.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a flexibility thing too. Like, and like the way of the body's proportioned, some people can't, like they have long legs compared to the torso, so they can't do this, right? So you have to adjust according to your condition, according to your body. Like my torso is the same as my legs, so it can come pretty close, right? But not everyone can do that because of their body. So don't worry, place your hands a little bit more forward if you need to.
Attends, naturellement, je descends, up, and then. What, see, that's where. Oh,
Après, les pieds un petit peu. Je pense que
je trouve, ouais, hein.
you put the hands down, but then you move your feet in. As close as you can without this rebalance. Think about it first. Shoulders come forward over your fingertips. Press into your fingertips. This,
Okay. I feel like I need to practice this one.
yeah, and this is something that takes time. You know,
Non, oui,
I,
mais j'ai l'impression que si je veux vraiment, parce que I control the space for any of the other one,
we,
but I don't control the space of this one.
yeah,
I'm still relying, like, if I do any of the other one, I can jump up in position, I can
Yeah.
do this for all.
yeah.
But this one, I'm just,
It's because there's so little contact with the ground, right? You don't have your hands, and once you have like your forearms, you have, you know, your head's on the ground,
or
whatever.
3 point.
You got at least 3 points of contact. This you only have two,
Mhm.
like two. But this is why
But
it's,
it's not two, I should
It's
say
not
that's ten.
it's like,
Yeah,
so think of it not as 2 points, think of it as one, you know, all this.
yeah.
That's the 10 fingers, the base of the fingers. So yeah, like you said, like only points, right? And there's still some here, but not as much. Like once you roll forward, then it'll be more in your fingers, and that's where you find the control. The jump is okay. It's like, don't worry about the jump. Just try to get your, it's gonna come time. Just try to get your les hanches, vous avez vu? Turn your fingers out a little bit more. Maintenant, ils sont un peu, they're a little bit inward like this. Turn them out a little bit.
Intéressant. Et bon. Very interesting. Pourquoi?
Because when you turn this way, your elbows are out and you don't have as much strength. Your elbows fall to the side and then you can't engage your arms as much. When you turn this way. your
Because I
elbows-
always went with my tip is this finger crossed. But if I just do this,
Yeah, because. Yeah. Maybe that's a little bit too much, like when that's turned out too much, but it's just slightly, like, so, because when you do this. It's like you're holding a newspaper underneath your arm. Your plank's gonna be much stronger like this as it is like, right? If you turn your fingers out a little bit and then you try to walk your, you know. All the way up and then back.
here, always.
So as far as you can, you go back. But what it does, it just reinforces the arms like in the right position. So sort of like external rotation. You know? More strict.
Ok. Ça change the thing. Ça change un peu la façon que je le fais à ce moment. Because I'm always practicing in this. And you're right.
It's like, you know, when you're doing a push-up, if your elbows are out, you're gonna eventually collapse.
And what length do you put? It's under the shoulder, right?
Yeah,
So
lift underneath your shoulders.
some here.
It's That's not good. Did you go up from plank? I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's that. I've been practicing this one for a while, but I still need that leg to just.
Yeah.
And if I kick enough.
So I would, if you're trying to get up like a press up, I would not do that too much.
Yeah.
Not just because it's going to force you to like jump, right?
Yeah, then that's
So-
what I'm doing right now.
So maybe
Yeah.
come closer, just if you want to get up like this is better for you to just practice this kind of thing when it's so close to you.
Yes. Parce que t'as raison que c'est rendu un comme if I want to go like handstand. I'm so used now to just like.
Yeah. And that's okay too, but like once you have a control, if you could do it from here. Then when you're back here, you can come up with more control too, right? You'll know where to stop.
Can you say this one again? I want to see where you shift your balance. It's front of shoulder. No, it's you're here, and then you go back, and before you launch from the ground, you're above, right? You're like here, and then you launch.
That's, yeah. So, I just think of just trying to visualize my hips moving like an arc. Okay, I'm back here, passenger. Just imagine you're drawing an arc, like a coming out to the ciel, only see those.
You're obviously in this class without somebody like you bug or your ass.
Your siège.
But vestiage, okay, siège, but because I'm always like, when I'm giving this, my first initial would be like vestiage, but it's your vestiage, okay.
Fest is that you can use buttocks, but like fest is more like not quite the right term.
Yeah.
C'est comme de you can on peut lever des hanches, lever le bassin,
Okay,
lever
le siège,
je pense que le stage c'est
Okay.
everybody can kind
because
of.
I think it's or whatever, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's always like, yeah, people are like, what do you say, tush, butt, bum, like, you know, it's like,
When I'll be used, Bob might be something I use just for fun, but
Yeah.
right now I want to start with like, you know, like, like getting my terms, getting my cues, getting my,
and yeah, the better you do, it's good to do this now, it's like, yeah, because then it's gonna come naturally when you get it, you won't use your words.
yeah, exactly.
That's the edge, it's the seats, everybody goes, you know, like, this is the seats, you say, oh, you know, like, there's some comments. If you use the six or whatever, it's still kind of like, you know.
Yeah, because that's another thing. I'm gonna start also teaching English at RCMP at where I work in a month. Yeah, when I'll be done with the class. So
Yeah.
I also have to learn how to speak in English and in French, just like you're doing. So it's like everything's just a mix.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so you go like this. Spray your fingers with the weight and then.
That's again, so you try to bring your shoulder, like even if you do it from back there, we try to get your body forward first, right? Over here. And really, again, transfer it into your fingertips. So that's. It's a little bit easier if you're going back there from back behind, actually, if you can move your shoulders. Because you have to, in order to come up with the hips over your hands, you have to bring your shoulders a little bit forward, right? So that's what I'm still from here.
Okay, I'm just gonna insert Avril. Okay, so.
Oh,
Whoa.
no.
I was like, whoa, okay, but with my shoulder that far ahead, I can actually catch myself. Because I have a safety that I can, whoa, why is it slipping that much? Okay. No. I'm not thinking, okay, so. No,
Try to get your, I would start like about half the distance.
after the distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not permitting, my shoulder were back.
Yeah.
Feel like,
The further back you go though, like the further back your shoulder's gonna be when you come up, so move your feet closer. First, and then try to get that, and then rest of the, yeah. So again, I would start my feet close to the hands and try to get that up, and then move back.
okay, well,
Because once you get, une fois que tu maîtrises ça, tout le restant.
parce que ça, c'est qu'en ce moment,
C'est ce que tu sautes, ben, en fait, de départ, ça va venir avec plus d'aisance, avec plus.
c'est ça, parce qu'en ce moment, c'est encore forcé, j'ai un saut. I want to get to the point where I just, it's seamlessly, just like I'm entering the other one, like I'm not thinking about it, I can just walk my feet and then slowly.
C'est ça. Parce que le problème, si on saute ici, we tend to go too far, we tend to jump too hard. And we don't want to jump too hard, especially, you know, when you're trying to do a press up from here, you don't want to jump too hard, you're gonna fly over to the side, right? So if you're going back from here, you have to you have to force yourself, like, I mean, you will force yourself to jump really hard, but you might not get your. Just think of where your hips placements are before, like, think of where you want to hip your, yeah. Think of where you want to hip, visualize the hips coming over your hands. As opposed to like, just, so.
I'm done my feet. I get scared, then I know that if like this, I'll get my full control. So.
Yeah.
Mais techniquement, je devrais être capable de rester avec les jambes fléchies.
Ça c'est cool. You just, c'est un petit peu, tu sautes un peu trop vite. Alors que ces épaules sont des argentines.
So come in more and then chat.
Il faut vraiment
Yeah.
visualiser, avoir les hanches ou la siège au-dessus des poignets.
Ok, ouais. Ok.
Si tu visualises, ça aide aussi. Ça, c'est bon, c'est ça.
And then I can see where my
C'est ça. I think that encore une fois, je peux en arrière.
Je peux les emmener encore plus en avant.
Oui.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
So that's what you can do against the ball.
Mais si j'en pratique, ce qu'on va pratiquer là, on peut. Soit.
Pour vraiment mettre comme un creuser le prix et se mettre le membre pour la ça.
Where do you guys? Where do you go? You guys?
Usually, I like to, like, so it depends. Sometimes we're or like down the street, depends. I tend to have my gaze a little bit in front, but sometimes that's when I face sort of the back sore. So just for this exercise, like be down, like almost at the wrist.
Thank you. And I'm not so together. From a few years up to like this is very good. So if I. But then my shoulders are. Because of this.
Yeah, so you're kind of going away from the wall, right? You want to try to, really just try to get your shoulders from the wall like a. So here, press your hands and you might have to adjust it with your hands. Yeah, so what?
Well, you were flat.
Yeah.
It's smooth. Here. Smarter.
Press your back against the wall. We should see it in your shoulder blades on the wall. Sit side.
Okay, but that.
Yeah.
I am not stretching. I can use my muscle power when I'm there because I'm committing to get my.
Like this.
Yeah.
So this is mostly for your life, just get your idea that where you have your shoulders. It's not necessarily, don't worry about, like that. So just concentrate on the other time. Just elongate your shoulders and lines your.
Okay, that's like end position I want to reach. Okay.
And then, then you'll have the idea of like when you're here, that's what you have to do. Because otherwise your shoulders are back too far, or your hips are back too far. And in order to get on the wall, you have to get your hips up, your seat up, please.
Yeah, because they're not aligned with. But
This is
like that,
there's even a little bit of exaggeration, like on that.
because but I see it's exaggerated to get it, so you're technically here, and then you want to press. Your back and. So I'll be there. Oh, okay. So. That.
Push your fingers out a little bit. See that? Just. Slowly do that.
Okay.
See that? You got it. That's.
Then. What's that? Oh.
It's okay.
Okay, so from here. Here. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like you just kind of roll into the wall, just like you're rolling your weight forward into your fingertips.
And I want to create that without.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you're almost there, you're getting there. Like, I mean, like the last few, like you, it's like a lot of control. It's good. And sometimes like, and every once in a while, like it's whatever, it doesn't happen or your shoulder behind, it's okay. Like with practice, it will come a little bit more consistently.
Mhm.
Right?
But I feel like I got some hip here.
Yeah, just like the fingers are key and the position of the hands. This time, yeah. This time you kind of use your legs to throw yourself out. Don't worry. Use the core, use the fingers. That hand tends to go a little bit too, like up, please just blend angle better, just try and slide. Hands to be like, in. Both
They're-
this way.
They're not too far like this.
Yeah, so like instead of having your hands kind of like open like this a little bit, it seems like it's almost like this.
Like this.
Yeah,
So this
so
one.
trying to turn this right hand a little bit more outwards and this one a little bit less.
Okay, one.
See? So that can also be throwing off your balance a little bit. So you're but
I think I can, I think with, I got enough tip here to get it. So,
yeah,
okay, so the thing I want to incorporate from there, coming in the shoulder, and last job.
yeah.
Just. Bit further in. Less. Of the fingertips, but that's okay. My partner.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool shoulders to the foul. The last nut, so it's 22. You were doing it before. Just keep your legs crossed, your ankles to be crossed. And lift up. Nothing big like that. Don't you understand? I'm just.
Yeah.
I'll just try to bring your knees right into your belly, to your chest. But keep your seat low, so you're just kind of hovering above the ground. Like that. I'm not very good at that. There's another way to practice it. It's not easy.
For me, that's what's weird. Ah, that's all. It's good last one.
Ça, c'est vraiment l'idée.
Okay.
Ça vient avec.
No, mais ça me fait des choses, tu sais, when I'm practicing, instead I practice them every single day, so now that's something I can incorporate, like 10 reps of what we've been on the wall, then the wall, then see
Ils
this.
sont vraiment, ce n'est jamais quelque chose vraiment mal que tu fais. C'est seulement des petits.
Some little tips that I'm making it like that, yeah.
And it's just, this comes with just like experimenting
Mhm.
and just with practicing over and over, then you learn your tricks, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I find that if you, just pay attention to your hands, like, if you're going like this, already you're kind of like, wait, one arm's weak,
well,
right? So turn his hand this way and make sure your base, your fingers are down comme ça. Vous pressez encore. Imaginez toujours, on essaie d'avoir 20 points de contact.
okay,
Alors, de cette façon, on est toujours On essaie toujours de se mettre en avant pour. Imaginez que c'est un insecte.
Oui. Ah, monsieur.
If we study the velcro sur les bouts des doigts, et ici, it's like.
Yes.
Et un peu plus haut avec le. Oui, ça bien. Levez les talons un peu avant de sauter. Maintenant, oui, parce que maintenant, you're very lifting your heels and then you have to jump more. So lift up the heels first, push into your toes.
Ok, ouais.
Right.
Ok. C'est pas encore la contre-posture qui est pas c'est ça.
C'est ça.
I need a break. Small break.
C'est bon.
You're gonna kill me.
Euh,
Ok.
D'autres choses que tu parles, comme les postures d'équilibre, Ardha right? On essaie de pencher, passer la main sur la terre. On reste seulement sur les bouts des doigts. On lève la jambe. On essaie peut-être d'enlever un doigt, juste sur le doigt. Et éventually,
I find most my one that's
it's always the case.
do you have an open the arch, open seat, and a high seat, open seat,
Open hip.
open hip. So do you have open hip? You're doing that or?
Yes, open hip. All the way.
I just changed because my hips.
C'est ça. Et vraiment, ici, voilà, dans cette position, c'est vraiment les orteils, les monts des orteils qu'il faut mettre
No wait.
sur le weight. Oui. Et de la même façon, on entraîne on peut vraiment utiliser the front part of the foot and the hands.
Okay, well,
It's all these things just to drill you.
so technically when I'm doing this, I could technically just get my, well, that's it.
Or, yeah, there's another pose. Remember this one? Where you have your leg up, you can also bring your knee up, whatever you want, you know? And you have to have your weight move your heel, right hand. So the index finger to heel, you have to bend your knee, get your belly on your side. Right? And then you move your other hand in right close. And putting your other to your foot. Good. And now place your hands on either side of the foot, wrists just in front of your foot like this. And then see if you can.
But you're right, because I'm more.
Yeah,
And that's what you teach us at the last.
yeah, and make sure the inside edge of the foot is down. So the base of this, yeah, so it's kind of turned this way.
Okay, well, okay, one, but I like. Okay, so.
Get the inside of the foot down and place your hands in front of your foot, just not too far, like really wrists are just like,
That's the one that can get you to that.
yeah. And then again, push the heel up first.
Too much.
Let the heel just do this first. And then get your weight forward into your fingertips and then hold your breath, sit your hands, and something else.
Yeah. Now it's the same, but I always roll.
Yeah,
I roll up there. And now I
stretch your fingers a little bit more. Lift your heel, lift your heel. That's it. Yeah, push your foot that's above too. That's it. your foot's a little bit too far away.
Back,
Try to get
your back.
Yeah. The one that, it's like, you don't have your hands too far away, just in front of your foot, if you can. So you lift, again, like when you lift your heel, it comes up into your belly, and this pushes your whole body forward, your hips up, right?
Mhm.
And then just look like my fingers.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Give a little bit more, the launching foot.
Okay.
So the idea,
Yeah. Need to practice this one too.
that's really the idea. So all these poses, like you're training your feet and your hands to just find the balance, right? You can't say this pose if your foot's not, if your front part of the foot is not rounded, especially want to get your leg all the way up. You have to really bring the weight forward.
Okay.
Just from the foot. Even this one, gliding eagle, you have to fall towards your toes a little bit.
Like, so the gliding, okay, I always thought that the gliding was here, but it's as the,
Your head goes down. C'est ça. La tête est à l'auteur du genou. On essaie de lever les jambes les pieds plus haut que les hanches.
okay, je comprends.
Plier les genoux un petit peu et reposer le ventre sur les cuisses. C'est ça.
Ouais.
Et maintenant, lever la tête un petit peu. It's like your back. This is,
And you're just like gliding.
yeah, imagine you're soaring through the air. C'est ça.
Falling gliding. I'm gliding on the ground.
Yeah. So you have to fall towards your toes a little bit forward, You have to put more weight in the front foot so you don't.
Ah, c'est pour ça que je fais tout.
C'est
Okay.
ça. Pour que tu ne tombes pas sur la tête.
C'est clairement contre
C'est ça.
intuitif.
Ce sont toutes des postures pour vraiment entraîner
Le transport. Ouais.
le transport du poids dans les monts des orteils ou les bouts des doigts. C'est la même chose. Good. Maintenant, placez le ministre sur la terre. Levez le talon. Ne saute pas. Restez là. Et levez le talon le plus possible. C'est ça. Et maintenant, tu peux pousser un peu dans les mains.
Only once you're fully aligned. Here.
C'est ça. Plus qu'on rapproche le pied au main, plus que ça te force de ne pas sauter trop. Parce que si tu sautes trop, tu vas
Ouais.
aller sur le dos.
Ouais, c'est ça que tu vas aller voir.
Donc, ça te demande de rester toujours en contrôle et de vraiment engager le muscle ici pour que tu ne vas pas trop loin.
Okay, ouais.
Et va dessus.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I check two balls quickly?
Yep.
Warrior 2, Warrior 3.
Yeah.
Warrior 1, I'm pretty confident here. Just because those one are like base fundamental. So here, just let's start with Warrior. So my foot is all grounded here. Same here. Full straight leg. Here, my one is in a different track. It's okay for it to be 90 degree, right?
Totally.
Okay. So here I'm in two track. I pivot my. C'est quoi ça?
Le bassin.
En français, bassin, en anglais, ce serait my hip.
The hips.
Okay, so I pivot my hip in the front. I do
pelvis.
pelvis.
Yeah.
I do internal rotation with both of my quads.
For here, I would just say, turn the left hip out a little bit. Turn the left hip outward, the right hip goes in. Like go, or pull the left hip back, pull the right hip forward.
Okay, well, okay,
So
okay.
put-
So, because I think at the end of that posture would be, yes, you're opening, but at the same time, then you're bringing back your inner thigh. So, but
Yeah, don't.
if I did give those tips to beginners, they won't
Yeah,
catch
yeah, yeah.
it. So instead, just back.
Pull your left
Yeah.
hip back, pull your right hip forward.
Okay, and then there's a torsion, right, in my torso. It's a slight torsion, it's not a big one.
No, there shouldn't be,
Okay,
but like just just so that you're fit, you can just sit, try to have your hips square with the front of the mat.
That's what you're supposed to. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can be lower than this. Okay, so I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my warrior one. Tips, fingertips in, shoulder away from the here. Looking front, trying to stay like a bad. Okay. How can teacher transition from warrior one to warrior two? It's supposed to be two different alignments, but every single one teacher that I do, they always go like from warrior one, just move it to warrior two. But it's not the same positioning of it. Yep. So how do you do that?
So from here, you can straighten up front leg. And like, you have to open up hip a little bit.
So it's more natural
From
rotation.
here,
Go.
turn your whole body to the long side of the mat. And then once you're in this position, maybe you might fall in a little bit, so push your knee back out. So you have to do a few adjustments.
Yeah.
Pose. So it's not, like.
Yeah. So la plus grosse séance, c'est vraiment my hips and warrior two are fully open. So
So,
I will position myself. You could almost look into a triangle.
this is or like, just wide angle, right?
Yeah.
Et puis, on tourne le pied en avant, but the foot's already turned in front anyways. The back can slide your back foot back a little bit more. If they can't get everybody, but like, the idea is turn sideways, so the chest face alongside of that. And then, once you're bending your knee again, turn your knee out, so your knee is pretty much over the two middle toes.
Ok, ouais, à partir de ton visuel.
C'est ça.
Ok.
Pour que ça ne.
Ah oui, c'est ça, parce que tu veux pas qu'il y ait. Ok, ouais. So here I am. And then I place my arm.
Yeah.
Place myself. Always put yourself.
Yeah, and you look on the front. And you just try to have, like, you can lift your arms up if you like, and then extend, and then reach. Oh. Turn the palms up, and then turn the palms down, and then lower it. Like, I have a pretty.
Non, mais ça donne le type de comme donc, let's get into warrior two, and then you're here, and then let's just go with challenge. Let's try and go as close as we can from ground without losing our openness, or opening.
Yeah.
And then you can just reverse your warrior.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, warrior three.
Okay.
So warrior three, I just go back, keep my
The
seat down. No, don't open the hips. Keep it down.
nice, yeah,
Try and do a straight line.
Yeah.
Straight line with your leg.
Yeah.
And then your
maybe
hand.
foot down.
Ok, tu veux dire la planche, François, je te vois.
C'est ça.
Ok.
Parce qu'il faut vraiment altérer comme le bon de l'oreille.
Ok, ouais, on the ground.
Parce que
Ok.
maintenant, c'est un peu comme ça, right?
Ouais.
So essayer de.
Ton pied d'avant, toi, en warrior three, is it like straight?
Yeah.
Or it's a little bit like to the side? So it's straight, okay.
And the back foot, try to keep the back foot, like, some people do it like this. Flex foot, some people do it like this, but not like this. Okay, so
Okay.
not the foot turned out like that. And like, because this will open the hip a little bit.
Ah, ok, moi, je comprends. Ben, opening this.
You can have your heel, like, the different traditions, sometimes you press to the heel. This might help to get your alignment, or you can point your toe.
This is the only posture I'm busy and I hate doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can put your toes out to the kids.
It's pretty long. Okay, so on. Bump. Okay.
Une fois que les jambes étaient levées, là, tu peux placer les jambes
La jambe de support.
de support.
Okay, so, okay, and then a rotation that makes sense is I go there once everybody lock, then I can just say, let's go with afternoon. The only difference with afternoon at this point is opening the hips.
Yeah, so from here, come down, and then open up the hip. This is where, yeah.
So is my goal with my front hand to go as far as I can to keep it open or to keep it 90 degrees?
You want to keep it pretty much in front of the foot. If you do it too close, sometimes it's hard to open up the hip. If it's too close. Alors, donne-toi assez de distance pour que la main est en dessous en ligne avec l'épaule. Puis ensuite, on tourne.
OK.
OK?
OK. Là, c'est le one. Because I love that. And maybe more. Freeze. The fucking shine.
Oh, the shade.
Okay. When I took the class in mind, they're saying that this is the usual placement of feet. I can't do that. Like I have things in the way for
No,
me to.
It's okay.
It's okay to just be like,
C'est ça.
okay,
Séparer les pieds.
okay.
Person is ça.
Now I just go like when you're teaching, okay, everybody, we're gonna take a chair pause. It's hips back.
Yeah.
And then you just get where you're comfortable. So knees, you want to see your feet, your
Yeah, toes.
toes. Is toes?
C'est ça. Toes.
Foot fingers. Okay, you up the chest and you come here. So that would be a good check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's different variations, right? Like for my R's, I took like the 10 back 10 speed straighter just to work, depending where you want to work, right? You can lift your heels up, try to keep your shoulders back. See, we had to work your ankles.
Juste concentre sur ton straight.
Ton équilibre. Et on essaie de descendre, mais toujours on ajuste pour que les épaules restent en ligne avec les hanches.
Okay, ouais.
But here my feet are separated. If you have them together, you're going to fall.
Ouais, je comprends. Puis dans le même principe, si je veux dans Malasana après. So some teachers sometimes teach Malasana with your foot a lot parallel to the mat, which I find impossible to do.
No, it's not. Yeah, you should be tearing your feet out.
Okay, so and the goal is just sink just as low as possible.
Yes.
But then I create that arch in my back. Like I have an arch, is it okay? Or I want to,
See if you can push into your inside your knees a little bit more. And bring your hand, like just try to get your shoulders back a little bit, tuck your tail under.
yeah, to be practice. Okay,
Just get, like, I mean, it's hip flexibility as well. A little bit, so, to be, like, I mean, sometimes, but you're pretty good. Like,
okay, there's no, okay, I just want to get into a position where the
Yeah.
posture where it's like, okay, so,
The idea is not about the backgrounding or arching, that's not the thing to focus on. The thing here is it's a hip opener, you're trying to get your seat down.
so it's a hit that.
Yeah, and you were trying to get your seat down low, because some people are more like this, right?
Yeah.
When they're doing it, and so you try to get your seat down low and push with your elbows into the inside.
Like your hips.
Bring your wrists in line with your elbows. Push into your hands and push, so push your knees against your arms and vice versa, your thighs against your arms and vice versa. And then this might give you a little bit more power to push your shoulders back.
Yeah.
Try to get your thumbs into your chest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ah, my God.
Good.
Okay. Yes.
And when you have all these poses, these fundamental poses, a lot of these things will come with more ease, you know, like.
But there's nothing in my fundamental pauses
No, you're
that
good.
were like
Yeah, the
off.
no,
Okay.
and like, yeah, understand that, yeah, not everyone's gonna be able to go low, right? Like, this is not a table for a lot of people,
No.
right? So it come up by.
Like the first one I see we got that
Yeah,
thing.
the idea is like not to just this kind of seat, right?
So you really want to just make sure that people's safety,
Yeah,
especially for beginners, yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
So it's less about getting the funky position.
right. Adults might end up beginning, get,
Yeah, right.
if they can bend their knee and they can kind of go a little bit lower, it's.
To what extent do you let people, like especially beginners with like mistakes? I don't know if you, let's say you have somebody that's bringing you in your class and they do their work wrong and they're like, just like you can see that just the fact that he's standing there like this is enough. If you see somebody with like doing something like that, where do you automatically correct them or sometimes you just let them?
You give them cues, you can give them, you try to do verbal cues first, so bring your right shoulder forward, you know, see if they can do it. And like, just do as many, the idea is to try to get them to do it themselves, because if you adjust them all the time, they won't be able to learn on their own. And then we're just going to
Focus more on the cues than the,
focus on the verbal cues.
okay,
Yeah.
and give the cues like
And it's
as,
demonstrate for them too, like, you're like this, try, turn, do it with them.
okay,
You don't have to touch them, you can just turn, like, the idea is they learn to do it themselves, not so much. Because, people really like to get adjusted sometimes and they get dependent on it, and then
yeah.
they can't, at home, they can't do it.
And I don't feel comfortable doing manipulation.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It should always be the last.
Yeah.
Resort.
okay,
And some teachers really like the assist, and they do really hands-on assists, and, it's like a
yeah.
massage, whatever,
Yeah, it's less my style, like.
But really, it's not really. Really, the practice should be letting them do it themselves, so they can come into themselves and go to the place of their comfort.
Mhm.
If someone's manipulating to pose, you might not they might not be in the right position for that either,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, and everyone's different, even though it looks right, you might not feel right.
Okay, yeah,
So let them do it themselves until they can find. You feel comfortable, you can steady, minute on where you can fall over, I think.
Mhm.
So,
And then if you see after a couple practice, like it's like that's still, then you can move it to the
Yeah.
back, that's on,
I
yeah,
would
okay.
say, when you don't know the crowd, observe them first for a few classes. Because then you get a sense of is this a chronic thing? Is this like an accident, like they're just being lazy in the pose?
Yeah, or is it something like,
Is it something that is a problem?
because I feel like,
It's not problem, but
no,
it's recurring.
what you're saying, like where you want in this school, here's this case, kind of like there's people are always, all the teachers are like, so it might be something that the yoga studio is, yeah. Okay. So those one are good. Don't think there's the side pro, but I won't touch the side, right? Side pro. She gets it, she can do it anytime. I can't, I just, I feel like there's something preventing me from going there. Like,
Okay.
I'm just like, when I put my hand there, this one is too far from my body, so
Yeah, you want to try to get your elbow in a little bit more, so your leg is closer to the shoulder, because right now your knees are close to the elbow, and you're gonna fall off.
Mhm.
And you won't so much see that.
So this, you need to go higher.
Yeah, you wanna get all the way down, those are my elbows is right off the seat. Here, as opposed to here, where you're going to fall off your elbow, right? Your legs will fall off, so you wanna get your elbow down more, so that when you bring this elbow into the side of the body.
Okay, one.
See? It's a sleeping day.
But
It's fall off, it's fall off. Each of these will close the. Ama mantıklı ve kuruyor. Ve sokucu dalmış.
okay.
Okay.
So this one, that's as far as I can get with myself.
Okay.
And this one, you mean,
That's it. 1 second. That's what we do. On call, so next one, lift the seat up first and then go down. Sometimes it may give you a little bit more room to come into the pose and then.
okay, one. Which leg should be supposed to be like, you get good, yeah. Like. Cut it down.
You mean cuisine has the one,
Yeah.
it's extended. It's yeah, that's that way.
Leg up top.
Yeah, so from here, you go into it.
Ok, so la jambe qui est à côté, c'est la jambe qui fait l'extension en fait. Oh my god. Ah! Alright, I'm dying. I think we're done. You get out? Whoop, we went overboard, sorry.
That's okay. So. J'ai arrêté ça, puis.
Stop.